now.
Awesome.
Honestly. Yeah. I went for a couple runs in between the last time we saw each other and a bike ride yesterday. And those all felt good.
Cool.
Yeah, just
How
worked and sore, but not like painful.
Not pain. How far was your run?
Probably, it was like 5, close to 5 this time.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more. It was like a fast hike / run.
Joggy.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And then some just like chilling, enjoying.
So that sounds like maybe even more than before, right? Last time I talked to you, well, you did at work. You were doing 2 miles in the 1,200-foot elevation thing with your pack. You said there was no pain, and clicking wasn't there much either.
Yeah, clicking is weird still.
Okay, kind of in and out.
Figure out exactly what it is.
It's a strange thing. Okay.
Yeah, like if it's like how I walk, how much weight I put on them, like.
I think there's something to that compression.
Yeah.
Right? Did you notice at work, again, with the pack, that there's less clicking than without it?
Yeah, I feel generally just like if I try to fully commit to like each step, but then I feel like
A little too, yeah. And the thing might be in the short term to do that until it becomes normal and you're not actually exaggerating it so much, but we'll see.
And sometimes when it's not clicking, I just like overthink it, I think, and start running differently. I'm like,
when
it's not clicking right now, and then I'm like, what am I doing?
And then it'll start to click.
Yeah.
Okay. Still no pain with it though.
No, not
Good.
at all, so
Okay.
it's so weird.
We'll keep exploring the knee and keep plugging through that. But I want to start on the neck again today because is it just not better or is it back to a little bit worse?
The neck.
Yeah.
It's just not better. I don't think it's worse.
Okay.
I haven't thrown it out or anything. It's just, yeah, I guess the work we're doing.
Yeah. I think the pack is probably a big part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because right.
I broke my chest strap. Yeah.
Okay.
It has a hip strap, so it's mostly on my hips, but sometimes it goes just pull.
Yeah, and I think that, just thinking about it, especially with a pack, extra weight, but any of this incline-y, walky stuff that you're doing, right, we're getting like, right, which is the exact opposite of what we're working. So it would make sense that there's this like daily stressor that's, keeping it buggered a little bit. So let's start there, because even last time we had flexion and rotation left, had a little bit of pain. Wasn't much, it was definitely better than before, but your flexion was also low quality and had pain. And then of course after we just did that, the pain was gone again, and then we did our full-blown cervical extension to flexion plyos. So let me check quality first again, because if things are back to low quality, meaning they're not holding, then it makes a lot of sense why there's still some pain. But if they're all still holding, but you're still having that pain, then there's something else that we haven't found. So let's take some more samples, start with the neck samples, and then we'll go from there. Awesome.
I might just be like extra sore, tense from my bike ride, but I didn't notice any neck tension really. I tried to just like kind of keep myself aligned, like really thinking about like the top of my head, like extending forward so that I'm more in a line instead of like looking up and back. Oh, it's a temporary tattoo.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? It looks bruisey. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it was my friend Kendra's bachelorette party.
Nice.
And we picked temporary tattoos. I was like, I don't want that.
Hell yeah, very cool. Okay, I feel better. I was like, what do you do to your neck? Slide out, hold, ready, go. All good? Slide out, hold, ready, go. Nice, good. Turn in, up, out, ready, go. Okay. In, out, go. Good. All stable there. Shoulders, hands down to your side. Hold that position. Ready, and go. Okay. Down, ready, and go. Okay. Nothing weird there?
No.
Hip extension, keep the leg down, ready to go. Ready to go. Good. Flip over and we'll check those face down. Extend the legs, we're looking at this hip extension. Ready and go. All good there? Ready and go. Nice. Is this another temporary one?
No, that one's
That one?
from Iceland.
That's not new though, huh? No.
From Iceland, like March.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I don't know the other ones I have in my head. That one I didn't remember. Nice.
It
Those
kind
are
of just goes with like
everything else, doesn't it? No pain?
No.
Okay, flip back over. Nice. Very good. So hip extensions were staying stable there. That was awesome. Let's go into the flamingo mode, right? Or the pelvic approximation. Rotate. Hold. There we go. Beautiful. That is locked in. You okay?
Yeah. I was
Clicky.
going out slowly, but it didn't click.
There you go. Good there too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just worried it was gonna click because I don't know. It still.
That's the
sometimes-
movement where it does,
Yeah,
right?
like the squeeze and then like that.
It's gonna do it there.
It did do it.
Okay.
It's kind of just like adjusting.
We'll explore that a little bit here today too, obviously. But I
Okay.
want to let me just finish the SARS and
Yeah.
then we'll go there. So turn out, lift, hold, ready to go. It's high quality, no pain, click. Ready to go. That's high quality. Let me try this again. Ready to go. So, like you're strong, but can you feel the difference between those two?
Yeah.
This thing is just like boom. Yeah. Feel that?
Yeah.
And then the same thing was like on your hip abduction. Let me recheck the very first one. Oh, yeah, just here. Can I take the shoe off? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Just because sometimes it skews the test with the rubber sticking a little bit. Stay here. There you go. Yeah. So the thing is you're so strong that it's kind of hard to tell, but it's not the same, right? Let me just do this one too so we can compare.
Yeah.
I think I've said this before, but I really like those shorts.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a cool color
Yeah,
combination.
I love them.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
definitely different, right? There you go. Which is why I wanted to kind of recheck that hip extension. I thought maybe there was going to be something over here because abduction, you know, is a lot of glute. If you're not in extension when you're doing it, it's going to be weird. Hold down again, right here. Ready, and go. Okay, ready, and go. Those feel similar, don't they? Ready, go. Okay. So SARS is good. We'll get to the neck in a second. Let's take a few minutes and work on the knee. Yeah, I'm gonna run a bunch of samples really quickly. I'm not stoked about this abduction. Let me check the SARS 2 again real quick. Turn in, lift up now. Ready to go. Yeah. Ready to go. Yeah, those are different, right?
Yeah.
So there's something going on here. I'm gonna check knee extension. Keep your knee locked out. Ready, and go. And that's it. Pain, huh? And down kind of patellar tendon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just look at the side here.
Okay. So we might have had a little breakdown of knee extension. Because if we think about all these three
All of
tests.
these, they're straight. Yeah.
Exactly right. Finishing my sentence. That's perfect. Okay. So we got this one. The weird part is how hip extension though is also with knee flex, but that one, or knee extended, but that one was good to go. So we're running some knee samples here. Okay. Some knee extension, a little bit of pain. Was that like sharp almost?
Yeah.
Was it intense or not bad,
It
but
wasn't
sharp?
Intense. Just sharp, and it. I guess I haven't like had that pain in a minute.
Yeah, so it's kind of shocking a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah. Okay. Let's run the
But
extension.
It reminds me a lot of like what I was feeling when I first
Before,
came
yeah.
to see you.
And I wouldn't be surprised. You've put a lot of new demand on your body with your job, right? I mean, remember how when we ran some of the strength and endurance asymmetry testing, how it's like after a certain amount of reps, one side then for a temporary short period, even as little as 15 seconds, but then it won't hold.
Yeah.
If you don't stop and rest, then it just stays low quality. When you're doing 2-mile hikes with your 40-pound pack at work, you can't stop
Right.
and check the quality and be like, well, I need to rest for 30 seconds and then we can keep going.
Yeah.
So it might just be breaking it down from a fatigue standpoint.
Yeah.
Which, if that's the case, meaning if we get this back to high quality here after we just stimulate this quad tissue again, it's high quality, I can test, you don't get pain there. What that means in the longer term is that you're going to really have to put a focus on the strength So like back to the step ups or something. The trick with that will be making sure that you're not doing too much work at home so that it starts at work already low quality. You know, it'll be and I'll help you navigate that. We'll figure out the timing and all that. But so knee extension, low quality, getting pain. Let's stim this tissue up with a basic isometric contraction and see if that changes it. So extend knee towards the ceiling. Good. I'm just giving you a little pressure. I just want to cook this really good, get that quad tissue going. Nice work. No pain to start?
Yeah, some days at work it's like we don't hike much, and then other days we're like hiking in a lot of gear to steep sites and stuff. So it's very variable, but I try not to like overextend myself on the days that I know that I did at work at home.
Pain coming out of it? Okay. Did you stop and then there was pain, or you stopped because the pain was coming on?
Because there was pain.
Okay. So that sounds like a direct fatigue correlation too, because I did not start with pain, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, it was towards the end of that. Give it a second, rest, and then we'll try this again. Did the pain, the pain went away pretty immediately? Yeah. You're okay? Yeah. All right, very good. All right, let's do a couple myos. I don't know, I didn't like that ISO. We're gonna do some myometric contractions, so right, because the end of that got pain. So open all the way up. Good, and then let's control it back down. No pain there? Okay, good. Good. One is real jumpy. Good, full lockout. Beautiful. Two, control back down. How are we doing fatigue-wise? Yeah, let it go a little. There we go. There we go. One more. Hold. Control it back down. Starting to burn pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, just getting it back down. Give me a little more. Give me a little more. Sorry, other way. A little more slack. There you go. And rest. Okay. No pain that time? Okay. Just a moment. We'll let it rest. We're going to do one more set of 3. And then we'll try sitting you up and getting a little bit more range out of it.
Okay.
Nice job.
Yeah, it's still the lockout that I think is what sends pain into the knee.
At full extension?
Yeah.
The weird part is, at least just now, you didn't even get the pain at full lockout until after we held for almost 30 seconds. And it seemed like it was more when you're coming out of the lockout. Like it was like as you relaxed and bent more. I could be misinterpreting that, but
yeah, because it felt like when you were doing just like checking the knee after SARS and you did
the extension itself
and like kind of like put pressure.
Yeah, like coming out of the extension a little bit. Yeah, okay. But like well, we already stimulated the tissue, so it'll change it. But anyway, let's run one more, and I'll tell you what I was gonna say. Good. And a little less pressure on this fly out. Yeah, I just want to go through the motions. You don't have to like stop me from moving it. Good. 1. Good. 2. You got 2 more, or is it fatigue?
Yeah.
3.
I'm not like fighting so hard.
Yeah. Good. 2 more. 4. 1 more. 5. Got it. And rest. Did I tell you? I don't know if I told you this. Did I tell you the story about the if lobsters had doctors thing? This is really cool short story. It's pertinent to this. I know. One day I'm gonna write a book. That's gonna be the title. Lobsters, when they're growing, right, when they're young, they max out their shell. Right? They fill in that shell totally, and there's a lot of pressure. It's uncomfortable. I don't know if lobsters feel pain, but if they do, I'm sure that it hurts. Imagine you being 5, 6 years old, and I put you in a suit, and you're growing into that thing. It's gonna hurt, right? Pressure, uncomfortable, pain. If lobsters had, so anyway, when they get that big and they max out that shell, they go find a rock where they'll be safe. They can shed their shell and they grow a new, bigger shell that they can grow into, right? The only reason they know to do that is because the first shell is uncomfortable. Lots of pressure, right? That slight discomfort, uncomfortableness. if lobsters had doctors, when they maxed out that first shell, they would go to the doctor to get an ibuprofen or a Vicodin or a Valium or whatever, and they would feel okay. Okay enough that they wouldn't feel the need to go shed the shell and grow more, right? The point here is that just the right amount of stress, in this case physical stress on your muscle tissue, is where the growth happens. So I'm relating that to the plyo. When we did almost too intense, right, too much pressure, it was a negative impact. We also could do less reps, so that wasn't working for our overall goal of like building the endurance. So that's why it's okay to do a little bit less intensity, especially if it means you're getting more cumulative total return out of the thing, right? I mean, we did 5, so you got more total, still got some work. So if you're doing your exercises, and this will apply to the step ups, the lunges, everything that we're going to do for the endurance, if you're feeling like maybe you're going too hard or it's too heavy or the step is too big, tell yourself, well, I just had doctors. Maybe it is. Maybe I need to scale back just a little bit. Like, I'd rather you do 5 or 6 or 7 sets of 10 than 2 sets of 20.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Okay. Let's sit you up, and we're gonna run it from a seated position here as well. Whatever, yeah, wherever you want to hang your feet off is good. Okay. Beautiful. So let me start by just checking the extension. Extend. No pain getting there. Hold. Ready to go. No pain doing it. Okay. Come back down. We're gonna run a couple of these guys. And if this alone doesn't clear it, then we're gonna go back to tibia, hip, look at some stuff in there. So let's myo it all the way out. I'm gonna help track the patella. So as you're extending, I'm gonna pull it up. There you go. Good. No pain at the top.
It was like, I don't know if you felt me jump like right there. But
Uh-huh.
there was a tiny bit of pain.
Was that jump as a response to the pain, you think? Yeah, okay, back down. Run it without pressure. No pain. 2. Okay, let's do it like that. 3. You're getting the full lockout. That quad is shaky. 4. Getting some quad work. Quads look great. All that hiking work's gonna do more of that. Yeah. 7. Yeah.
I want to make sure mine's not bugging out here.
Hey, battery might be getting a little low, it's a little slow.
Okay.
9. I'm thinking maybe I like hyperextend.
Like, you mean here and now?
Yeah, like I feel like that's a full lockout, but then like where it's pain, I feel like I can almost go further sometimes. And then I think it's when I'm pushing against you that I get there and then
And it hyperextends.
pain.
Let's put this theory to the test. So let's not extend all the way. Hold. I'm looking for pain. Ready to go. No pain. Hold. Ready to go. No pain. Okay, go all the way. I'm not going to put my hand here either. That way I'm not blocking your hyperextension. Ready to go. Twinge.
No, not that time, but like get in there, I guess.
Getting to that lockout.
Yeah. Like if I
Oh, sharp.
yeah, and like with the hot too. I think I like it was when I fully
Oh,
yeah, that.
that hurt that time too? I think that's more about your hip. I'm feeling you move through flexion and extension there. Let me get under you here. Smash my hand against the table, and then don't relieve that pressure when you go into extension. Look, you can't even hyperextend it if you're running hip extension here. Any pain there? Hold. No
And
pain?
I feel more solid too.
Yeah.
Like my quad wasn't
Shake it.
shaking.
Pull up a little, just a little bit. You don't even have to put pressure in. You just keep it up like that a little, and then extend.
Yeah.
So hip. So the question is, do we need to reinforce hip extension because that's where you're good, or do we need to work on the hip flexion because that's where it's not good, right? So we're talking about this, like, do we pour water out of the cup, or do we build you a bigger cup, right? Let's find out. Let me see if you have hip extension quality. So stay down. Ready and go. Ready to go. The weird part about this is lying down, we just tested it twice, supine and prone, and it seemed high quality. So the only variable here would be the spine. Let me check your trunk and spine. Cross your arms over me. Yeah. Crunch forward. Like you're gonna hug your knees. Yeah. Hold. I'm gonna give you a brace here. Ready and go. It's not terrible, but it wasn't great. You felt the give a little bit? Yeah. Let me bring it down a little bit so we can get your feet on the floor, and we're gonna test the extension and see if you're just in your normal position right here. Okay. Just checking baseline there. So, is your hip breaking down when we're in a seated position compared to a supine position? Clearly, the hip extension is, because you couldn't hold it just now. So I'm thinking maybe it's that when we get your spine into more flexion, because when you're seated here, you're in more flexion than I think than when you're lying down, right? So let me just confirm that you have extension. So arc your back, lean back, hold, ready to go. Yes, that's all day. Let me go different quadrants just to make sure. Ready to go. Ready to go. Good. Ready to go. Good. Yeah, so that's all day, right? You've got that all day. Okay. Let's see if I want to go the trunk and spine route or the hip route first. I think I want to go the hip route first.
I mean, that would make sense. Because just the foundation of everything.
I almost forgot that was the beginning of it all, really. Yeah. And I think that's really when we started to really get rid of the knee pain, especially when the running was when we put a lot of focus on that hip, which we haven't done in a while. And it's more stressed at work.
Yeah, true.
I wouldn't be. I'm not super concerned about it. I think this is just a. I really do think this is a shaking of the tree that is work. Something's bound to fall out when you shake that tree.
Yeah, definitely. And like different shoes too. Wearing wading boots, even hiking, like into our sites.
Yeah.
So we just put them on before we go in. Yeah,
You don't wear
those
them the
are-
whole time.
We wear the wading boots like the whole time, and they're like thick, and I'm like
Heavy.
barefoot shoes. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
The opposite of what you're used to. So again, more stresses on the system that are new, right?
But I'm wondering if that's no, that wouldn't be the reason for ankle because the examination hike, I was wearing my shoes because that was like too long of a hike for the wading boots. But
And it was clicking anyway.
no, it wasn't that time with my just
With
my
your
barefoot
shoes.
But I don't know. I'm wondering if like certain shoes, like maybe my sneakers even,
Might be better. Is that what you're saying?
or they make me click when I'm running and stuff.
But the barefoots don't.
Yeah, like my barefoot hiking boots.
Interesting. Do you have a barefoot, like technically there's no such thing as a barefoot running shoe, but do you have like a barefoot tennis shoe that you could try running in?
That one was supposed to be zero drop and
Yeah. Like cross
wide.
trainery style or whatever?
Yeah, but I still feel like somehow there's more cushion in some spot and not zero drop lifted.
I don't know the brand, it might not be. Let's check this hip flexion here. Lift this leg, hold, there you go. So that you've got, right? Okay, let's go into extension, lift, hold, there you go. Okay, there was a delay, but you had it. Okay, stay in extension and stay down, ready to go. Ooh. So there it feels pretty good. Crunch forward a little, hold down, ready to go. Isn't that weird? Sorry, caught your toe, you okay there?
You're good.
So when we get you into trunk flexion,
Yeah.
the hip flexion goes kaput, right? When you're in hip flexion, which we know is low quality, that's when it hurt the knee. Versus when you drove hip extension, it was better. So let's run a little bit of lumbar flexion-y stuff, and then we'll come back and recheck the seated configuration, and then go back to lying down and recheck the whole thing.
Yeah.
So let's pop it off the table. We're gonna go out to this bench right there, that squat bench right there. Yep. And then yeah, just sit down right there. Okay, and then let's just sit up. Yeah, get those legs up. Make sure that you're really rolling, rounding, and tighten that core. Yeah, and then rolling backwards, right? Getting that low belly in there. Nice work. Feeling the belly already?
Yeah.
Imagine at the top like you're gonna hug your knees all the way. Yeah, that way that low back gets all the way through that motion. And then when you're here, extend. Yeah, perfect. Just so we get through the full range. Yeah, rise. There it is. Feeling enough work?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I like them better than Apple Watch. Because they are more.
Nice job.
I feel like the Apple Watch, it's a delay on the information, which kind of sucks because you're like having heart rate. It's like, oh, I was.
Beautiful. Keep that rolling. Couple more, and then we're gonna go recheck our trunk. Well, we'll check the flexion from this position, and then we'll go back and recheck the knee. Let me go here. Getting a good little burn there. Yeah. Okay. Good. Run a few more.
Okay. So we are at 6.
One more.
Friday the 13th. All right.
And the rest. Hang out.
So we're
We're gonna go about 20 seconds, and I'm gonna check the quality. Yeah, that was RPE, ready to perceived exertion. How hard? It was good. You said cool. Yeah, it was enough.
Make sure
Yeah,
that stays
cool.
at 50.
Sorry, that was like 10. Let's give it 2 more.
Which is kind of hard to do.
Push on this one. Fatigue still. The quality of your seated flexion. So if you can maintain that again. So hands on the chest, flex your arms, stretch forward, hold. There you go. Oh yeah, that felt better. Nice. Good
That
work.
sounded high quality.
Yeah, it was. Got my corn gauge testing hers. Nice. Let's go back to the table. That's funny. Yes, it did, didn't it? Nice. Okay, and then, yeah, let's start seated. You can stay seated first. Yeah, no, you're okay. This side's fine. Okay, so let's check the quality of this extension through your knee. Let's do the range of motion first. So don't worry about the core or the hip or nothing. Just do the extension. Any weirdness getting there? Hold. Ready to go. No twinge in there. Okay, good. Relax. Okay, baseline hip extension, so don't do anything in the core, just stay here. Ready to go. Okay, so baseline is good. Now give me a little crunch. Hold here. Ready to go. Oh, there we go. Better, right? Cool. Extend the knee. Hold. Ready and go. That felt better too.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's lie back down. We're gonna check the full knee extension. Two. Better?
Yeah.
Extend. Hold. Go.
Yeah.
Coming out of it. Okay, relax. Tighten. Extend. Ready to go.
Better, but there's something.
Pain coming out of it still? Okay. The only other variable here is that we're in more of a hip flexion, which is where it got weird. Let me try the whole leg. So lift the leg up off the table. Hold here. Go. That's good. Okay. Ready to go. Not great.
No.
Did that hurt the knee?
No.
Okay, just broke down in the hip. Let me test it here. Bend your knee. Hold this position. There you go. It's a little weird. Let's compare. So let's do the left one. Go. Do those feel similar or different? This one looks better, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me check your knee flexion real quick. Bend your knee. Hold here. There you go. Okay. I was like, what just happened? I just thought it was downstairs. There you go. That feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Let me double check tibia. Off the gas. Turn in. Hold. Ready to go. Turn out. Okay, hold, there you go. Okay, nothing weird there. You feeling the creaky though? You don't feel that?
I only really feel it when I'm like holding on to it.
With their hand. You
Yeah.
don't feel it internally per
No,
se.
no. But it's less definitely consistent.
Okay. Let me check your
Since, like, 2022,
the squeaky.
the knee squeaky,
Yeah. Okay. Let me check internal and external rotation of the femur because there was something with this internal and external rotation too. Turn, yeah, whatever one first. Good. Hold that position. Ready and go. Not great. Let's compare. There you go. I don't know, those felt similar though, huh?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that's okay. Turn out. Hold. There you go. Go. Bend the knee. Internal femoral rotation. Hold that position. Go. Turn it out. Go. There we go. External rotation. Okay, let's check that seated, whichever side you want to go to. I don't care. Check external. I'm again checking against the various spinal positions, right, to see if there's a breakdown coming from the back. Go external rotation. Hold. Go. Crunch. Ready, go. That feels better to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You notice that?
Definitely
Okay.
when I have like my
Core engaged. Okay, so lie back down. I'm gonna give you the pillow because we're talking about Lovett Brothers theory, right? The spine. Because I'm sure you're aware of this, but when you're lying down here, this is way more arched,
Yeah.
right? And that's where
I'm really on the ground and I'm like this.
that.
Yeah.
Keep this leg up so that you can stay there. Yeah, let me check it there before I go into the thing that I was going to do with your femur. Okay, shut your back out. Extend. Hold. Go.
I was gentle coming out of it, but
Did it hurt?
yeah,
So there wasn't actually. If you're saying
felt
if
like
you
I
weren't
was like-
slow and gentle,
yeah.
it might have hurt. Let's do a couple. Just open and close, keeping that low back pushed down and tight. What are you getting?
It was like the click at the end.
But not pain on the way out. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tight in here. Go in. That was okay? Not really? Okay. Let me run the hip extension and the femur thing real quick. We'll start with the femur. Hold there. It should be all in the hip joint.
Yeah.
Right away, huh? 9, 8, 7, 6, good. 5, 4, there it is. 3, 2, 1. Rest. A lot of work there.
Yeah.
Okay. Give it just a second. Femoral external rotation. I'm sure this is all just from work, guys. I think it's just stress from new movements. External rotation. Supine. Low quality. Seated. It was high quality. Run that. I saw a little less hip flexion. Yep, and then turn. Okay, don't turn the tibia out. You don't have to like actively turn it in, but do you notice that when we wants to do that, right? So keep it there. Hold.
I was like, those two legs look familiar.
Objectively, that's a weird statement.
I know. Immediately I was like, who's that?
Welcome.
Bye.
And rest. Okay, give it a second.
Is this your normal appointment time? No, I usually come
Well,
at
it is-
3. Right? Yeah, I have been coming at 3.
Yeah, it was just this
I'm at
week.
4 this week.
Okay, nice.
Okay. Let's go again. Again. Yep. Okay, and then we're gonna move you towards hip extension as we go. Yep. Yeah, keep turning that in. Yep. And rest. Okay, good. Take a break. We're gonna give it a second. We're gonna recheck the femur, and then we'll recheck the knee again. And then I want to also do a hip extension thing here. Okay, let's recheck femur. Get to this position, turn, hold. There you go. There you go. It's better.
Yeah.
Ready to go. Okay, it's better. It's not fully there. That's interesting. Okay. Stay here. Ready to go. Yeah, that's not on.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, let's work that hip. So lift leg, push all the way down. And find your glute and your hammy. 1, nice. Feeling it?
Yeah.
2, good. 3. 4. Doing a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
And hold there. Keep that glute and that hammy on. Feeling glute hammy? Nice. 9, 8. Don't stop. 7, 6. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Nice. You okay there?
Yeah.
No knee pain during that.
No.
So there was a lot of pressure going through the knee joint just then, right? I mean, a lot.
Yeah, but
And in the extension.
yeah.
And no pain. So that's why I'm like, there's gotta be some connection there, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. Let's recheck the knee. Keep it extended. Just lock it. And go.
Right there.
That was better?
Yeah.
Let's check it. The thing with this is you're in a little bit more hip flexion, so I'm just checking that baseline there first. Okay, extend your knee. No pain getting there. Hold, there you go.
Yeah, there was a little bit of pain
On the push or on the release?
on the release.
So not when I pushed. There you go.
No, it's definitely the release.
Like when you start to bend it
Yeah.
again. Okay, let's try a knee flexion plyo. See if it's your hammy that's not letting go all the way. So here, yeah. And then we're gonna plyo it out all the way into extension.
Yeah. We've done this one before and I really liked it.
I think it helped too. So the whole leg will be, yeah, the knee and the leg. Yep, good.
This is the motion that makes it click too, like coming out of the
Flexion.
Yeah. Yeah, that just feels really good.
And it's not clicking.
Mhm.
Feeling the hammy.
Yeah,
And probably some hip flexors.
yeah, and I feel it in the knee too. Not pain, but
Pressure or work
work pressure
in the front or the back.
in the front.
That quad.
It's like the front lower, like by the tibia. Yeah.
Nice.
So,
It feels good doing this.
yeah, like good in a way that it's like working but not painful. Because sometimes like working will bring pain.
Pain.
So it's like not associated.
Yeah, and you don't get the weird like clicky or that instability feeling on the way out.
Yeah, it feels stronger.
I feel like good even amounts of pressure. You know, I'm feeling your tension
Yeah.
all the way through. A couple more. There you go. Yeah. You don't want to hold too hard, but you don't want to let it go too fast. It's tricky to do these plyometrics. One more. You're getting quite a bit of work.
Yes.
Getting close to that 4 or more.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Good. No pain in the knee along that motion, even at the end there, letting it go.
At the end a little bit, I was getting pain in here, but maybe yeah.
Like at the end of that motion or the last few reps in
Just the
general?
last one, actually.
Let's give it about 20 seconds to rest and we're gonna recheck. No rush. Neck, head feeling okay in this position?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish there was someone who could do that by myself. I don't know.
You could.
Something like that. Oh, a band?
Band.
Yeah.
So you'll have to myo in, right? Because first you're gonna get pulled.
Yeah.
So there's your myo, hip flexion, knee flexion, and then just control it back out. Yeah. So you can, pretty easy.
Yeah.
Or if you're at the gym too, you could use one of the cable machines, right? Because it'll like pull you back out and just slow that down. Okay, let's recheck it. Knee locked. There we go. Fine there. On the release.
Yeah. There was a clip too. Anything.
Okay. Lock it and bend. Lock it, bend.
That's what I'm wondering. Is it? I wonder if I'm landing with my feet facing in the right direction. Like, cause I'll play with like toes in a little more or like toes out more, trying to find out what the click is, and I'm just like. I don't
Can't
know.
figure it out.
Yeah, cause like as I'm on my handstands too, like the way that you have your hands,
Yeah.
like intuitive is like
Mhm.
just like this,
Straight.
but like you kind of want to have them
Turned out a little.
out. And
Yeah.
I'm like wondering if maybe I'm like collapsing in or something.
Which kind of makes sense, right? Because you don't have this external rotation either, so you might be comping internal. Let me check through the ankle just real quick. Turn that, hold that position. Go. Compare. Go. I don't know, kind
Yeah,
of.
I feel like they've been pretty strong lately. So that's why I'm like so confused with the clip.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's hard for me.
Don't turn the leg in when you go foot out. Hold. Go. You go into internal rotation there.
Yeah.
So externally rotate and then go out. This way. Hold. Go. Not bad.
Yeah.
Go on the gas. Hold. Go. That's locked in. Off the gas. Go. That's not good. Bend the knee. Off the gas. There you go. Yeah, not great there either. Right. Okay. Any pain in the knee? Kind of like this for a second. We're checking a lot of low quality stuff off the list, which is good.
Yeah.
Go off the gas and fine. Keep the knee locked. There you go. This should be here.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if I somehow land too far in like my arches or something, and then
Kind of knee dive.
the knee dive.
Yep.
Yeah, the knee dive, because when you were checking me like on that side.
A version 1. Yeah, that was that knee divey. Yep.
It would go in.
Rest. Okay, go again. And rest. And then we're going to do a myo plyo. Pull off the gas. Myo. Keep that knee locked. There you go. And then control it back down. Nice. Keep the knee locked all the way back up. Knee, 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 knee. Good. That was hard to do, huh?
Yeah.
Knee, 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 knee. 5, 4, hold 3, sorry, 2, 1, rest.
So there was kind of some pain
In the knee.
right at the end. In the knee.
There we go. Alright. Because we haven't found pain in the knee from somewhere else until just now.
Yeah.
And this was low quality. And that was a weird release. Okay.
Yeah. It was almost like I was like being decompressed when you were like having me stay engaged and also doing the ankle and like pulling kind of away from me, and then when you let go, it felt like it was like
Yeah. Yeah, like a drop. Yeah. I felt that. Go into extension again through the knee. Stay foot on the gas. Ready to go. That was okay. Okay, so let's go off the gas. There you go.
Yeah,
Hmm?
coming out of it.
Okay, so let's do some plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, myo plyo. So let's stand up again. Ooh, I think we got it. I think it's the dorsiflexion.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Flat-ish feet, but I don't know.
Okay. We're just gonna go over to that free motion right in front of you there, that big one. I'm gonna give you that box that's right there. I'll bring that. Oh, wait, the box is gone. Oh, the box is right here. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna stand on the other side of this guy. Okay, so we're going for this dorsiflexion. Yep, so on the gas, yeah, getting the ball there on the edge, and then slow and controlled into dorsiflexion. Yeah, you should feel big Achilles stretch there, calf working, stretching out. Good. A lot of calf work.
Yeah.
And your knee is pretty locked here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just to switch it up, unlock the knee a little bit. There. No pain? Okay, good. But that wasn't the ankle. Yeah. Yeah, when that's not the problem thing we've been working on at all, right? Good job. Burning pretty good? Okay. I'll have you do one more plyo. So one more slow and controlled down. And relax. Okay, take a break. We'll do it one more time and then we'll go recheck again. Nice. Yeah, please, in between. Great idea.
Yeah, this is the one that pops. It didn't just now, it did on the first try.
Do this on both sides. And do a few more with your knee locked like that, and then do the same thing we do to the right too. Yeah. Just to switch up the configurations, make sure we're activating those muscles in different knee configurations, right? Yeah, good. Oh, I can see the calves from here lighten up. That's beautiful. Good job. It might just be like unstable, like you're not actually using the plantar flexor dorsiflexion right. Because here it's full load, right? Full force going through the joint and it's not clicking. You're frowning. Does that work?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. I was making sure it wasn't hurting. Okay.
Okay.
One more time on that right one, and then we'll recheck the extension. How? That's the big toe.
Yeah.
Is that in that mat head in this one?
Yeah.
Nice. Look at Zoe over there getting her warming up on. The window feel good? Oh yeah. Nice job. Whenever that feels fatigued, you don't have to go to infinity here. Okay, let's go back to the table. Last time, here we go. Good work. Let's go on. First of all, checking this baseline stuff. Slide your leg out, lock your knee, hold abduction, ready to go. Feels better.
Yeah.
Right? Ready to go. One more time. Ready to go. Feels better, I think, than it was, huh?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Turn in. Knee locked. Up and out. Ready to go. Good. That was great. Turn it out. Knee locked. Lift. Go. Yeah. I think that's better too. I think that was a lot about the knee extension, weirdly enough. And then the knee extension is somehow about the calf, ankle, which I'm actually not that surprised. You know, again, I think the culprit is this hip, right? That was Brooke's thing. But some of these calf muscles are knee flexors. So they pull up and they attach up into here. And then those guys go and attach up into there. So I think that's probably the connection.
Yeah.
Okay. Extend your knee. On the gas. Hold. Ready to go. Oh, that feels wonderful. No pain? Okay. Yep. Ready to go. Hey.
It's definitely better. Yeah, there was still like a weird motion to get out of it.
But, like-
it wasn't smooth. But it wasn't very.
There was some pain.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's that.
Yeah.
I don't want you to run the dorsiflexion pliers. I think it's about the dorsiflexion, right? Because in plantar flexion, it was fine. And plantar flexion was high quality. In dorsiflexion, yeah, then look what happens to your knee
Yeah.
then. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So, and it turns in and it flexes. So go back out, lock the knee, off the gas, keep the knee locked. Ah, see, even there, it wants to bend a tiny little bit. So on the gas, keep the knee locked as you come up. Keep the knee locked, keep the knee locked, keep the knee locked, keep the knee locked. Yeah. Was that hard?
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
It's like mentally hard.
Do it one more,
So
one more time. Kevin. Oh, it's so mental. Dude, you sound mental saying that, dude. I love it. It is a little mental in a good way. It's good. Forgot that I told you about that. Okay, and then one more. Yeah, good. And rest. About 15 seconds. I want to do one more check. See if it's just a little better. The abduction cleared. The SARS-2 flexion, internal rotation, abduction cleared. External rotation, flexion, adduction cleared. Dorsiflexion, let me check that while it's resting. Go off the gas. Hold. Ready to go.
Yeah, I did try to go.
Yeah, you tried to bend the knee, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That felt better to me too.
Because it's like coming out if I go super. No, I feel like when I'm able to actually get all the way there, like this position in my ankle is more safer for the clicking to not happen. But then it's like when I
But then it compromises the knee. Yeah, so go through this motion even just light like that. Like just keep the knee locked while you're just going on and off. Like you don't even have to go like slow. Like go fast like you were doing. Stay off. Yeah, just there we go. Now it's not bending. Alright. Nice. Okay, and then let's check it. Off the gas. Ready to go. Good there.
yeah, coming out of that.
Okay, so check this out. We're gonna check the knee, and then I'm just gonna have you like relax the foot, not necessarily go on the gas, but not be pinned off. And I want to see if that changes it. So extend your knee, off the gas, like pin it.
That's all.
Okay, hold. Now relax your foot, and then just unlock.
Yeah, this is better. I feel
Yeah.
like I have to do it slow though.
So we don't even have to be in full plantar flexion. Just pinning that dorsiflexion out is weird. Okay. So the two things I'm gonna have you do are the step ups that we were, or the calf raise, plyoing back into dorsiflexion, getting that heel down,
Yeah.
and then keeping the knee locked and really working end range dorsiflexion. So lock your knee and pulling off the gas. And I want you to get as far as you can, and then keep the knee locked. Yeah, and then again, far as you can, and then off. Good, and then rest. Cool. You okay there?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that what we've seen in the past too is that during our appointment, sometimes there's still a little weirdness, and then whenever it is I see you next year, like, yeah, it was great the next few days or whatever. So I think that'll probably be the thing, because we stabilize a lot of stuff through the hip, the abduction, the flexion, external rotation. So I think that'll feel better.
Okay.
As much as possible, rest it maybe tonight, tomorrow,
Okay.
and then start hitting that.
Yeah.
Nice. Any other comments, questions, concerns? Okay.
Should I keep doing just like normal step ups and the core work and
Yeah, and start building endurance on the step up. So if it's not hurting your knee, start adding repetitions or add a little bit of weight.
yeah.
Like maybe you hold a 10-pound dumbbell or something while you're doing it. Because if you're getting into 30, 40, 50 rep count, it's not bad because your work is endurance based more than strength based. So it might not be a bad idea to do that many repetitions. But once you're getting into that world and it's not terrible in the RPE, then add a weight, back up on the reps again. Nice. Good job.
Sounds good.
Okay. Beautiful. Thanks, guys. Awesome.